Hi, I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have: patience. Sometimes patience is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing.
What's up guys, it's Oblivious Gamer. Now, to begin, the first part was just a joke. I'm not angry or anything with that announcement, though I would say there is some slight disappointment. And what do I mean by that? Well, it was very obvious that when Maxi Boost On was announced for the PS4, it was most likely a way for them to make some extra money, since there was already a sequel out for Maxi Boost On, which was Gundam Extreme vs. 2, which also was released in October 2018. So it has been out in arcades for a decent amount of time. When Maxi Boost On was announced for the PS4, I was happy, and believe me, it's a good and extremely fun game. I have been playing it on stream so much since it came out. Practically the only game I've been playing and streaming. However, a part of me was like, really Bandai? You have Extreme vs. 2 out. Why not just port it to the PS4 and give us something more newer? Granted, I am aware how Bandai Namco operates, especially when it comes to the Gundam franchise and their arcade iterations. At the same time, a part of me was like, I think we will be getting an updated version or sequel for Extreme vs. 2 this year, or next. I mean, with COVID happening, it might get delayed. Now, this could be very circumstantial evidence, but we see the timeline of Gundam Extreme vs. Series. Every 2 years, there has been a new release or upgraded version. Gundam Extreme vs. came out in 2010, then Full Boost came out in 2012, Maxi Boost in 2014, Maxi Boost On in 2016, and Gundam Extreme vs. 2 in 2018. So I was thinking they might be releasing again something new soon. If we can use this, of course, this theory as an example. For me, I feel like, yes, keep the newest iteration if you want in the arcades, but don't give us a port of a game that already has a sequel out. Remember, Extreme vs. 2 came out in 2018, but now Extreme vs. 2 is getting a sequel. My guess is that financially, it might be more beneficial for them to keep this game in arcades than to port it to a console that would have a one-time payment of $60. Obviously, COVID has impacted how arcades perform, but it looks like the company believes they make more profit putting the game in arcades than in a console. And again, that is fine, but give us at least the game before the newest one. In this case, Extreme vs. 2. We have Maxi Boost On, and it's fun, but we technically ended up receiving a much older product. And of course, they probably knew Extreme vs. 2 Cross Boost would come out this year. And we're not one title behind, but actually two now that Extreme vs. 2 Cross Boost was announced. Also, personally, I feel I haven't seen much from the Maxi Boost On developers. I mean, yeah, they have patched the game, but most of those patches came due to problems that happened when the game came out. And of course, them considering a 1v1 mode, but that is it. I mean, no word on if this game will be getting more DLC. It's been more than a month since the game came out, back in July 30th, I think? July 29th, July 30th, which, if I'm being honest, I really wasn't expecting anything more from this game when it came to new suits. They have also done multiple events where they could have announced something that were, Gundam related. And yes, maybe COVID has had an impact on the development team, but I do feel if that was the case entirely, then they would have delayed Cross Boost. I mean, it's clear that Extreme vs. 2 Cross Boost is their main focus. At the same time, with the new title announced, I'm feeling Bandai will probably be putting more time, people, and effort in the new iteration that is coming out, and having Maxi Boost On updated with a patch from time to time. Again, it's fine. I feel most of us are having fun with Maxi Boost On, but there's just a part of me that just can't help but feel, a little bit disappointed. I love this franchise. I love the Gundam franchise, and I love the Gundam Extreme vs. franchise. For me here in the US, it's almost impossible to play Extreme vs. 2. And I'm guessing it's probably for a lot of people the same. The only way for me to be able to, play Extreme vs. 2 is to buy a ticket to Japan or another country that has arcades, or maybe if by chance there's a state here that has like an arcade that has Extreme vs. 2, which again, not very likely, but as I said, it requires me to go somewhere far. And with everything that has been going on in the world, that is not gonna happen anytime soon. I can't help but feel the same way I felt with Gundam Versus when the developer team after a while went radio silent and then boom, Extreme vs. 2 was announced. Part of me just feels that the team in charge of the Gundam franchise really focused more in Japan. And yes, it's probably where most of their money and sales happen, but man, it just sucks. We never got Gundam Breaker 3, a fantastic game. It never came here in the West. Instead, we got new Gundam Breaker, which was a piece of hot garbage. The newest SD Gundam, I think it was like Cross Race, if I'm not mistaken. It came to the West, but only on PC, even though there is a Switch and a PS4 version. Maxi Boost On got physical copies in Japan, but only digital here in the West. I am aware a lot of people are going digital, but I think it just shows how much they want to invest here in the West, since they opted not to bring physical discs. It seems though they don't even want to try. Like, they do an attempt to market to the West, but they really don't put effort. So if it fails, they can easily just say the West is not interested in the franchise. You know, kind of like you have a final for college and you say, I will fail this exam. And because you have that mentality, you don't study. You take the test and of course you fail. Then you go and you say, you see, it would have been pointless if I study. I would still have failed. You know, like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I just can't help it and feel that way on how Bandai thinks. I mean, time and time again, that just seems to be the case. And I do want to apologize for sounding like this, being negative, but you know, after just thinking for a while about all of this, being a fan of the franchise since I was a child, I just can't help it and feel that all of this sucks. It sucks to be a fan here in the West, and it seems Bandai Namco doesn't care. Nothing in this world I would love more to be proven wrong. I would love to see at least more support to Maxi Boost On and just be proven wrong of what I'm saying. Hell, if you can bring Lupus Rex, I'm sure you can bring 1 or 2 more suits. Yes, I am aware I know jack shit about developing games, but if they were able to port a suit from Extreme vs. 2 once, they should be able to do it again. And I would even pay however much money they want. But as I mentioned, time and time again, I feel I'm just setting myself for disappointment, and I really shouldn't be expecting anything at this point. As I said before, I do apologize. I really don't like ranting or doing these types of videos, but it just sucks, in all honesty. In the end, I guess we should all be happy. I mean, more Gundam means the franchise, at least in Japan, is doing well there, and it will keep getting support. So I guess there is a silver lining. I just wish there comes a time where the West will also get that support from Bandai Namco when it comes to the Gundam franchise. Overall, it is what it is. I will be back covering more information for Gundam Extreme vs. 2 Cross Boost, since they said more information will be announced in early October and a closed beta test will be held in early November. But until then, this is it for me, guys. This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.